It's night 21, and I am most likely getting skunked. The biggest challenge of this night has been, now that I'm close to the very end and the moon has to set for me to get my shot, I haven't had the freedom that I've Wow, I might have a flat tire. Warning right now saying that my tire pressure on one of my tires is as low as 28 pounds versus 40 of the other ones. Oh, wow. I might be getting extra skunked tonight. Wow, that was not something I expected to run into. With the fact that the moon is setting and I have to wait until 2:47 for the moon to set, and with clouds being everywhere, I knew I needed to wake up with about an hour and a half to find a position that I can go and get the Milky Way somewhere nearby. I didn't have the luxury of going out to Goblin Valley tonight. 30 minutes into my scouting, my tire pressure shows low. And it shows low, but not going flat. I'm able to make it to the very next exit and find out that that exit doesn't have any gas stations. And so where are some gas stations with an air pump? And that's what I spent the last 20 minutes doing, driving around different spots around the area looking for an air pump. And I found one. So the tire pressure stayed the same. It didn't go all the way down. So do I have a slow leak? Do I have a leak at all? Why is my tire pressure as low as 28? Maybe this tire has been that way this entire time and I had no idea. So I mean, okay, I can feel that it's soft, but you know, by comparison, the tire is lower. There doesn't appear to be a leak. I mean, I don't hear anything. I mean, I'm not exactly the tire whisperer for knowing anything about cars or tires, but I'd expect to have dropped from 28 pounds of pressure to something less in the meantime of looking for somewhere to pump it up. So I'm thinking there's no leak. I just have a warning saying, hey, this is really low, fill it up. So I'm gonna fill it up and see if it holds. Okay, I turned it on, it read the tire pressure, and by some sheer luck, I got 40 pounds. I don't think that's really possible. I don't know how I managed to get 40 pounds, but it says 40 pounds. It doesn't read an error anymore. The actual error for low pressure went away, so look at this. 40, 40, 37, 37. On the top right, it was showing the actual tire being white, saying here's the low pressure, and it said 27 or 28. So now it's good, and I have about 13 minutes until the astronomical twilight begins. Thank you, tire gods. I was being sarcastic when I said thank you, tire gods, but honestly, with 13 minutes, okay, it's now 13 minutes, it's 3:44, I have until 3:57. Honestly, I shouldn't be sarcastic, I should be thankful for him, because that could have been a flat tire. This is a rental truck. It's a giant tire. Underneath the back is another tire, but that would have killed all the time I had. that silly cloud and moon situation. Normally, I'd pull out here, I'd see what I've got running, and I go, okay, clouds there, clouds there, clouds there. I'm gonna drive out to this spot. And I had a fantastic option, something that would work. In fact, 2 nights already I've had to do that because of the way the conditions are. And with how tired I am, I haven't been able to go and just spend 3 hours driving. Even last night, I drove an hour and a half into the wedge. No, that was not the wedge. That was not last night. Last night I went to Strawberry Pinnacle. So I did still go somewhere crazy far last night, trying to avoid some of these weather conditions. And 23 days of Milky Way straight is really hard to do. Not to mention conditions, but just being awake, being alert, being free to drive, being free to go, being... I don't know what else to say, except that I've got 12 minutes until 3:57 when the moon, or no, astral twilight begins. I'm gonna take a picture of something. I'm just thankful that I'm even driving on this tire. I'm grateful that it's not actually flat. We'll see what happens. Okay, actually, I'm wrong. It's 5 minutes from now is when astral twilight begins, and I could see Mars. I could see Saturn. I'm gonna capture something from this area. It's so bright right here. I'm gonna go past these bright buildings and I'm gonna capture something. I need to get something. And luckily my camera is already ready to go. If you're smart, you get your camera out in your tripod and you get going. So I've got my focusing Carson Lumiloop. I am ready to go. 5 minutes, boom. Talk to you in a minute. The area out here is a little bit less on light pollution. I would have gotten a lot further out towards the west where I get away from the light pollution had I not had the flat tire. But man, I got my Carson Lumiloop, I got my focus, camera, shot has been taken. I've taken 3 of them. It's just so discouraging. It's so discouraging to have this happen when you are thinking, moon doesn't set till 2:47, wake up at 2:30, get yourself out there. You're an hour away from all your cool locations. That'll give you 15, 20 minutes to spare if you go the full hour. I had so many options depending on where the clouds ended up, and it quite literally is almost full clouds everywhere. And then to have the tire go flat, thankfully I'm not actually dealing with a flat tire right now. So I guess I'm happy about that. So night 21 in the books, hashtag the Great Milky Way Chase. One of the harder nights, not the night that I fell asleep in the car, but one of the harder nights, and outcome, dismal. Oh, dismal. Not even a composition that I'm proud of. Good morning again. I'm right here in the parking lot of Dead Horse Point, just taking a couple hours snooze. With the clouds being out, I'll be just totally stoked to set myself up right out here at the end of this pathway. At least I can have evidence that I was here.